Hi everyone. Let's start with a new session today. That is replication. And in this part, we need to understand what is replication first of all. So let's say if I'm copying something and we are producing some copies of the original thing, that process is called replication, and the copies are called replica. So in this case, you are producing some copies of DNA molecule, and you are getting different copies of DNA molecules which are of the same nature. Okay, and this is called replication or DNA replication. Now, what are the objectives of studying this part? Okay, these parts. The first objective for this session is to understand the difference between the leading strand and lagging strand. There are two different types of strands we will see. The first one is called leading strand, second one is called lagging strand, and the second one is to understand the function of DNA replication proteins. When I say DNA replication protein, I mean to say DNA replication enzymes. Okay, because enzymes are proteinous in nature. Okay, so they are made up of proteins only. The third point is to understand how anti-parallel strands are copied simultaneously. Okay, that means there are two different types of strands. One strand runs 5 prime to 3 prime, the other one runs from 3 prime to 5 prime direction. Okay, so they are called anti-parallel in nature. Okay, that's why we need to understand how anti-parallel strands are copied simultaneously, because they have different natures, right? One is going from 5 prime to 3 prime, the other one is going from 3 prime to 5 prime. So they are opposite in nature, but they are copied simultaneously. So we will understand how are they copied simultaneously. Okay, so let's see what are the different enzymes which are helpful for replication process. Okay, let's understand what is leading strand. Okay, before that we need to understand the functions of different enzymes. Like the first one is called DNA helicases, second is called single stranded binding protein, the third one is topoisomerase. Okay, the fourth one is called primase or DNA primase. Next, DNA polymerase. This is sliding DNA clamp, which is not in your syllabus. Okay, you can exclude this. The next one is RNase H, and the last one is DNA ligase. Okay, each of them have some specific functions. Let's see. Now this is a double-stranded DNA. Okay, this is a double-stranded DNA, and you can see DNA helicase. DNA helicase is unwinding the strands. Okay, let's see it once again. This is the DNA helicase which is binding at these two sides, and it is unwinding or unzipping the double-stranded DNA molecule. Okay, and as a result of this, you are getting two different single strands. Okay, so that was a function of DNA helicase. Now this portion is called the replication fork. Okay, replication fork is a fork-like area. You can imagine a Y-shaped fork here. Okay, Y-shaped fork. These are two arms of Y. Okay, you can see a Y-shaped fork over here. Okay, so this is called replication fork, and this determines the direction of replication. Okay, in which direction or in which sense the process of replication will take place. So you can see the direction is given over here. The direction is in this direction, like this fork will move in this direction, and the double strands will get separated like this, and you will get single stranded conditions. Okay, and this will move in this direction. Actually, over a period of time, this will move in this direction. Okay, let's see it once again. Okay, as you can see, this is moving in this direction. On the other hand, if you see it once again, actually this is moving in this direction, while this one is moving in the opposite direction. So it is acting in both the directions at the same time. Okay, so we have to concentrate on this only, which is the replication fork, which is given here, and it is moving in the rightward direction like this. Okay, yes, like this. Now let's see what's written here. Now DNA helicases couple ATP hydrolysis. Now couple means they take place at the same time. So helicases help in the ATP hydrolysis to strand separation. Okay, with the help of ATP, what they do is they break the ATP molecule. Okay, that is called ATP hydrolysis. Breaking of ATP in presence of water, that is called ATP hydrolysis. And this helps in strand separation. Okay, this helps in strand separation. Okay, now DNA helicases are typically ring-shaped hexamers. Okay, so you can see this structure. This structure is actually ring-shaped. Okay, and that is not required for you. just remember the name of helices, and it helps in strand separation. Okay, double stranded DNA is converted into single strand. One more thing, look at this point. The replication fork can be looked as moving continuously toward the unreplicated double stranded DNA. Now this replication fork, it moves in this direction. Okay, it moves in this direction, and wherever the replication fork moves, the replication will take place there. Okay, so replication fork determines the direction of DNA replication. Let's move. Let's talk about SSBP. What is SSB? Single stranded binding proteins. Okay, SSBP is the full name actually. Okay, so you can see once again, let's see, they will come and bind with the single stranded conditions. Okay, and they will stabilize the single stranded condition, because the single stranded molecules have a tendency to rebind. Okay, now these single stranded molecules, if they are free, they can again rebind and they can again form double stranded conditions, right? But we don't want that. We want single stranded conditions only, right? So we need to stabilize the single stranded DNA molecules, and that is done by SSBP, that is single stranded binding proteins. Okay, next. Now here comes topoisomerase. Now topoisomerase is again not in your syllabus, just you need to understand one thing: it prevents negative supercoiling. Okay, you can write it down. It prevents negative and positive supercoils. You can say positive supercoils rather. Positive supercoils, or simply you can write supercoils. Okay, what are supercoils? Supercoils are those structures, like if you see it once again. Now these are the structures of DNA strands which are intermingled among them. Okay, so these are mingled because of lack of stretching. Okay, so it's like your hair gets mingled. Okay, like in messy hair kind of thing. Okay, so similarly DNA molecules get messed up and they form some structure like this, and this is called supercoil. Okay, there are two different types of supercoils, positive and negative. That is not required at the moment. You just need to understand what is supercoil. So this is called supercoil. Just the rubber bands get intermingled, that is also called supercoiling. Okay, so DNA molecules can also be supercoiled because of lack of stretching. Okay, and this supercoiling can be removed with the help of topoisomerase. So it makes the DNA flexible. Topoisomerase removes the supercoil areas and it makes the DNA flexible, and when the DNA is flexible, then your process of replication will be smooth. Okay, so kind of it helps in smoothening the process of replication. Okay, let's proceed. The next part is about primase. Now what is the function of primase? It is providing some RNA primer over here. You can see this green part, this part and this part, these are primers which are made up of, you can see primase makes short RNA primers which are made up of RNA. Okay, so these are made up of RNA using ssDNA. What is ssDNA? This part is ssDNA, single stranded DNA. Again this part is ssDNA. So with the help of ssDNA, single stranded DNA, this primase comes and sits over this ssDNA, and it helps in the formation of short RNA primers. Okay, now if I have A over here, A means adenine, okay, or adenine. Okay, if A is here, that means in this case you will form, normally if it is DNA it will form T, but since it is an RNA molecule, okay, so it will form U, because in case of RNA, thymine is replaced by uracil, so you will get U here. Okay, if there is G in this parent DNA or ssDNA, then you will get C here. If there is G here, then you will get C. If there is T here, then you will get A here. So this is complementary nature. We have studied this in Chargaff's rule, right? So what is the function of primase here? Primase makes short RNA primers using ssDNA as template. Okay, the next thing is DNA primase is activated by interacting with the DNA helicase. This means that if there is no helicase, in the system or in the cell, then your DNA primase will be inactive. Okay, so until and unless you have some DNA helicase, only then this process will continue. Otherwise this process will be discontinued, or you can say this process will not take place, and DNA primase will not be activated. And if there is no activation of DNA primase, what will happen? If there is no activation of DNA primase, then you will not get double stranded conditions, right? You will get single stranded conditions only. And we need to form some RNA primers over here. Okay, for that we need some DNA primase, which will make some primers over here. Please remember this thing, that this green portion is made up of RNA, and this is just the process of initiation. Okay, we have just made a small strand, okay, and we need to replace it with the DNA in the later part. We'll see how it will take place. Okay, so what is the summary of this thing? Okay, summary is this RNA primer is formed with the help of primase. Okay, primase enzyme. This primase enzyme sits at single stranded DNA and it forms short RNA primers using ssDNA as template. Okay, what is template? With the help of this, if you have A here, it will form U. If you have G here, it will form C. If you have T here, it will form A. So this is the function of having a template. Okay, so that's it. That's the function of primase. Let's move ahead. The next part is about DNA polymerase. Okay, now this is DNA polymerase. This portion is DNA polymerase. And what is the function of DNA polymerase? It helps in the formation of DNA. So it helps in DNA synthesis. You can see it's written here. It helps in DNA polymerase catalyzes DNA synthesis. So you can see this red portion, these red portions again in this portion as well. These are the DNA strands. Okay, and one more thing, you have two strands of DNA. One is called leading strand, as you can see here. This is called leading strand, and this part is called the lagging strand. Okay, why are they named so? It has some logic also, right? We'll see that. First thing is that this is the RNA, and this DNA polymerase will come and bind at this RNA. Okay, so if there is no RNA, then this DNA polymerase cannot bind at the double stranded condition. Okay, I can say if there is no RNA over here, suppose if there was no RNA, then it was not possible for this DNA polymerase to bind over here. So it needs some primer. What is the function of primer? Function of primer is to help the binding of DNA polymerase with the DNA. Okay, and this primer is itself formed by the help of DNA primase. Okay, or primase, simply primase. So this is the primase here, which is making the primer. Okay, and then this DNA polymerase will come and bind over here, and it will help in the formation of DNA. So this red portion is nothing but DNA, and what is this green portion? This is RNA. Okay, now you can see that the process of formation of this one, the process of formation or the rate of formation is higher in this case. Okay, that's why it will form large number of DNA molecules within a very short period of time. Okay, and that's why it is called leading strand, because its rate is higher, so it is leading. Okay, it is leading in production of DNA. Okay, leading means it is making more copies in less time. Okay, on the other hand, this is lagging behind. Okay, this strand is lagging behind. It is producing small copies of each of DNA. Okay, so that's why it's called lagging strand, because ये पीछे रह जा रहा है. And this one is leading strand because it is moving ahead. Okay, so we have two different strands in a DNA molecule. The one strand which is moving ahead, that is called leading strand. Moving ahead means it has a higher rate of replication. Okay, and the other strand which is lagging behind, which has a slower rate of replication, that is called lagging strand. Okay, both of these strands are produced by the DNA polymerase on two different strands. Okay, now this is leading strand, this is the opposite strand is lagging strand. Okay, let's move ahead. This sliding DNA clamp is not in your syllabus. Just remember this, that it increases the efficiency of this DNA polymerase. Okay, we'll see it. चलो देखते हैं. As you can see, approximately 1 second for DNA polymerase to bind to DNA. It takes around 1 second. Okay. However, once replication has begun, DNA polymerase are capable of adding up to 1000 nucleotides to the growing daughter strand every second. Okay, the ability of an enzyme to catalyze many reactions is called processability. You don't need to read this. Okay, you can skip this part. Processability is the ability of an enzyme to catalyze many reactions before releasing its substrate. That is not in your syllabus. Okay, this is in BSc, so you can skip this part. Let's move. Yeah, this is DNA. Okay, the red portion is DNA, which is synthesized by DNA polymerase, and again this red portion is once again DNA. Again, this part is DNA polymerase, and the green portion, the green strands, they are RNA. Okay. Now, if you need to increase the rate of this reaction, okay, then you need to add this sliding DNA clamp. Okay, let's see. Okay, sliding DNA clamp just increases the rate of reaction. One more thing. What is Okazaki fragments? A short fragment of DNA formed on lagging strand during DNA replication is called Okazaki fragment, because it was discovered by Mr. Okazaki from Japan. Okay, that's why it's called Okazaki fragment. So you can see what's written here. The short fragments of DNA formed on the lagging strand are called Okazaki fragments. Short fragments of DNA. Now these are short fragments of DNA which are present in on the lagging strand. Okay, but on the other hand, if you see in the leading strand, there are no such short fragments because the process is continuous. Okay, process is fast and continuous in the leading strand. That's why it's called leading strand. But on the other hand, this process on the lagging strand is relatively slower. Okay, and it makes small copies of DNA, small fragments of DNA, which are held together by RNA molecules. The process is slower, and this was discovered by Okazaki. Okay, and that's why this fragment was named after him, or he named these fragments after him only, and it was called Okazaki fragment. Okay. Now you can learn the number of base pairs present in the Okazaki fragment. As you can see, although the Okazaki fragments are shown as very short stretches in this animation, they are usually between 100 to 1000 base pairs in length. So that's the length of Okazaki fragment. Remember this thing. Let's move ahead. Now this is RNase H, and RNase H has a tendency to cut RNA molecules. Wherever they are present, they will cut, this RNase H will cut the RNA molecules. Okay, so as you can see, यहाँ पे जो भी RNA molecule था, RNase H ने उसको cut कर दिया. Now RNase H means RNA DNA hybrid. Okay, RNase H means RNA DNA hybrid को cut करने वाला. Okay, H stands for hybrid. Okay, just remember this. H stands for hybrid. And what is the function of RNase? RNase का function है to cut RNA. Okay, wherever you have RNA and DNA as a hybrid, both are present. If both are present, RNA and DNA are both present at the same time, then this RNase H will go there and it will cut the RNA portion. As you can see, यहाँ पे जो भी RNA portion था, that has been cut, and you are left only with DNA. Okay. Now what will happen next? We cannot leave such large gaps, right? We need to fill these gaps, right? So that can be done with the help of DNA polymerase. So here are DNA polymerase. It will come and it will bind here. Okay, as you can see. But still, there are some small gaps left. Okay. Now these small gaps are filled with the help of DNA ligase. Let's see. Okay, so DNA ligase फेविकोल का काम कर रहा है, एक तरह से गम का काम कर रहा है. ठीक है, लाइगेट करना मतलब गम करना, चिपका देना. ठीक है, सो DNA ligase repairs the remaining nicks, and now you have this complete structure. Let's move ahead. This is not in the syllabus, you can skip this part. Yeah, okay, so let's play a game, DNA application game. You have to synthesize a protein. Okay, you have to use the different strands in their sequence. Okay, in their sequence, I will recommend to watch the video once again before coming to this, because it's a kind of quiz kind of thing, right? You have to remember all the steps and then you should come here. फर्स्ट एक बार देख लो, फिर दोबारा रिपीट करो, उसके बाद यहाँ पर आओ. देख लिया होगा, अगर नहीं देखा तो देख के आओ यार फिर से. ठीक है, मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ, तभी मज़ा आएगा, अदरवाइज मज़ा नहीं आएगा. ओके, स्टार्ट करते हैं. द फर्स्ट level 1, like you can see what's written here. Level 1, use the proteins of DNA replication to synthesize a leading strand. You have to synthesize a leading strand, and you must synthesize 100 base pairs of DNA to continue. At least you have to synthesize 100 base pairs of DNA. Fine. Be careful. This DNA polymerase has low degree of processability. Means the rate of the reaction is low, and that can be enhanced with the help of this sliding DNA clamp. Okay, you can increase the rate of processability with the help of sliding DNA clamp. Okay. Use the enzymes responsible for strand separation to begin. Okay, fine. So the first enzyme that is used is, think about it, I will give you 5 seconds. Think in your mind. the first enzyme that is used here is DNA helicase. So I will, so it's correct. It is unwinding the DNA, right? So next enzyme, next what function, what is the next function of this replication, right? First you have to separate the two strands. I have separated the two strands and I have got two single stranded conditions, right? Now I need to ensure that these two strands, which are now SS DNA, single stranded DNA, they don't rejoin. Okay, now that can be done with the help of SSBP, single stranded binding protein, right? They will stabilize the single stranded conditions. Okay, the same will happen in this case as well, but it's not written here, but they are not showing it. Anyways, what will happen next? Think about it. 5 seconds. Okay, the next thing is about this primase. You need to add some primer. Okay, so primase will add some RNA primer in both the strands. In this case, they are showing just the leading strand, which is this strand. Okay, they are not showing the lagging strand in this case. Anyways, not a problem, because you have to synthesize the leading strand only. Here it's written like you have to synthesize the leading strand. So forget about the lagging strand. Fine. Now you have got RNA primer, and this RNA primer will help in the formation of DNA. Now for DNA formation, I need DNA polymerase. So it will sit over here and it will synthesize some DNA molecule. Okay, on this single stranded DNA. So this red portion is DNA. Now there's a caution over here. Remember that this polymerase has a low degree of processivity. Okay, अजीब सा नाम, processivity, tongue twist हो जाता है मेरा. Okay, low degree of processivity. Anyways, so now this has a low degree of processivity, and you need to increase the degree of processivity. Means that you have to increase the rate of reaction. So for that you need this sliding DNA clamp. Now use both of them together and the rate of reaction will increase. Okay. Now DNA will be synthesized at a quicker rate. Alright, so you have successfully synthesized a portion of leading strand. Now complete the synthesis of lagging strand. Let's come to the second strand. Now if this is the lagging strand, let's say the lower one, okay, you can see there are a number of RNA primers over here because the process is discontinuous. On the other hand, in the leading strand, you can see only red molecules, right? Because the process is continuous and you can see a large stretch of DNA. Okay, but in this case, you can see small stretches of DNA, and these small fragments of DNA are called Okazaki fragments. The red portion is called Okazaki fragments, and they are separated with the help of this green portion, which is the RNA. Okay, now you need to remove this RNA first, right? So that can be removed with the help of RNase H. So in this way we can remove the RNA portion, right? Now we need to fill the gap. Okay, the large gaps can be filled with the help of RNA polymerase. Alright, RNA polymerase. Okay, now there are small nicks remaining here, and that can be filled with the help of DNA ligase. Okay, so ligase will help in ATP hydrolysis, and with the help of ATP it will fill the small gaps. Okay, it will glue them together. That's it. So congratulations, you have successfully synthesized 100 base pairs. Okay, next. So that's the conclusion. So DNA helicases couple ATP hydrolysis to strand separation. First of all, helicases will come and they will separate the strands. Then single strand binding proteins will stabilize the strands. Then this supercoiling can be removed with the help of topoisomerase. Then primase will come into action. It will make small RNA primers. With the help of small RNA primers, this DNA polymerase will make DNA strands. Okay, the upper one is called leading strand because it is continuously synthesizing DNA, while the other one is called the lagging strand because it is forming small fragments of DNA discontinuously, and it's called Okazaki fragments. Okay, now sliding DNA clamps will increase the rate of reaction. Okay, RNase H degrades RNA base paired with the DNA. RNase H removes the RNA hybrids. Okay, and these RNA hybrids, once they are removed, then DNA polymerase synthesizes the DNA strands over here, and then the small nicks are joined with the help of DNA ligases. So that's a complete sequence. I would recommend to write all the steps, okay, in your notebook and revise it once again. You have the video, you can watch it again for revision. Okay, so that's it. That's completes replication. In the next video, we'll talk about transcription, and later on, we'll talk about translation. Bye bye.